So hi everybody, in this video we shall introduce you to the concept of ratios. Ratios work quite similar to how fractions work. So 3:2, for instance, can be written as 3 and then we put a colon and then 2. So this equals 3 divided by 2, which can be written in any of the two different ways as appears on your screen. Now let's consider an example of the ratios. Suppose a bag contains 10 balls. Some of these balls are green and some are red. Now the ratio of green to red can be written like this. Say green stands, G stands for green and red stands for, R stands for red. And yeah, this appears to be 3:2. Now ratio gives a split of shares also. So assume in this example that we split 10 balls into 5 parts or 5 portions. And that's because we have two ratios and sum of the two ratios is 5. So 3 plus 2 altogether equals 5 parts. So to repeat myself, 5 parts become equal to 10 balls. But then we can also work out how much is 1 part, right? Because we know how much is 5 parts. And that's pretty much easy. We divide both sides by 5 and that's how we get the value of 1 part. Yeah. So we find that 1 part is basically equal to just 2 balls. So if we know what 1 part is, we can work out how many balls are green because we know green had 3 parts as shown in the ratio. So 3 parts equals 3 times 2 balls, which is equal to 6 balls. Again, remember this is because 1 part equals 2 balls. So naturally 3 parts equals 6 balls. So there are 6 green balls. Similarly, let's work out red balls. So red had 2 parts, which equals 2 times 2, which equals 4 red balls. So we know there are 6 green balls and 4 red balls. But the question is, have we made a mistake? So how do we check we haven't made a mistake? Obviously, if we total these balls, they should not exceed, or they should exactly be equal to the total balls, which is 10. So we check that, and 6 balls plus 4 balls equals 10 balls. So hence checked. Now here consider another example. It's very similar to that one. So suppose this time round we have 30 balls and not 10 balls, and they are divided in the ratio of 1:2. So how many balls are there of each color? So again, we write down the ratio. So you write red ratio green. The ratio is 1:2. So that means there's red has 1 part and green has 2 parts. So altogether we have 3 parts. And we also know altogether we have 30 balls. So 3 parts equals 30 balls. So we can work out 1 part. As before, we divide both sides by 3 and we get 1 part equals 10 balls. And now that we know 1 part equals 10 balls, we can work out how many red ones are there and how many green ones are there. So we say because red has only 1 part and 1 part equals 10 balls, so therefore there are 10 red balls. Likewise, green has 2 parts. So we multiply by 2, 10 times 2, and that's how we get 20 green balls. And as before, we can check whether we got the correct answer or not. So we can add 20 plus 10, and the answer is 30. So hence we've got the correct answer. So that concludes the video. I'll see you in the next one.